welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm doing a vintage cube draft. And once again, in typical BoshNRoll fashion, not a piece of power in the pack. There never has been, never will be. Mox Diamond is my least favorite Mox. I've talked about this on cube drafts in the past, where generally a Mox makes it so you can play fewer lands in your deck, and Mox Diamond needs a land to work at all. And I find that maybe I just don't know how to build decks with it, but this rarely works how I want it to. Sneak Attack is a build around, like from the jump. Jace is cool. Gut's kind of a banger. The mid-range red decks I actually really like in cube. Sneak Attack versus Gut for me is kind of a close call. They want totally different things. All right, I'm actually going to take Sneak Attack, even though I think Gut is safer. But Sneak Attack, like, I'm not grinding trophies. I'm just trying to have fun in my one cube draft a week that I get to play. Library of Alexandria, a card that I love. Fireball, Lion's Eye Diamond. Grave Titan is worth sneaking in, but it's not like a top tier thing either. Zerda this early could also be a draft around. Like Zerda, and then I get the Basalt Monolith later, and then I can cast the Emrakuls that I want to sneak attack in anyway. Like that's something I could think about. But Braid is just good interaction. I'm going to take Library of Alexandria though. Kolagon's Command, Razorkin Needlehead, a card I must read. When the opponent draws a card, they take one, has first strike on my turn. All right, I'm not excited about that. Guide of Souls, kind of a heater. Doesn't really make sense with Sneak Attack, but I'm not married to anything yet. Narset does make wheels better. Sheoldred's Edict is just good interaction. This Guide of Souls third pick is just really speaking to me. Those good one drops in the cube are serious business. And I'm going to take Guide of Souls. I'm not married to any of these things yet. Screaming Nemesis, another mid-range red banger. Dak Faden used to be one of the best cards in cube, kind of fallen off over the years, but it's still there. Treasure Cruise, Bitter Triumph, Virtue of Persistence, all cards I like. Recurring Nightmare wants kind of the same things in a deck Sneak Attack does. Kind of regret passing that Gut at this point. I don't mind being Big Boros without Library of Alexandria. All right, I'm going to take Screaming Nemesis and try to see if Big Boros is open. Arena of Glory, Elspeth, Blightsteel Colossus. Never mind, Sneak Attack's back on the menu. I mean, Sneak Attack can be in Big Boros. I could just be extra Big Boros. Arena of Glory is good. Voldaren Epicure is fine. Bankbuster is fine. Steel Seraph is fine. Elspeth is fine, but we've got something going on here. Giver of Runes is a card that exists. Another good one drop. I could be like mid-range Boros with a Sneak Attack button I can smash. Not really close to a Born Oculus. Grief, if I end up Rakdos. Faithless Looting works if I become like Rakdos Reanimator. But Emrakul, Blightsteel Colossus, Worldspine Worm don't work with Reanimator, but they're great with Sneak Attack. I think I want the looting though. I just want to lean into doing like busted stuff. Valky, Bob, Nadu, Xander's Lounge. Not a lot for me here. This Nadu could also still be a build around. I mean, the door is wide open. I have some stuff, and then I have some other stuff. I'm going to take Nadu just as the best card in the pack. Tracker, Interpreter, Scion. Might be time for some mana fixing. Spire Bluff Canal versus Hedge Maze versus Fabled Passage. Red is one of my core colors. All right, I'll take the red Splashland. The Gut is gone. Didn't really expect to get it back. It's a premium card. Noble Hierarch is good if I try to do Nadu stuff. Maybe Guide of Souls is out and I'm Teamer Nadu Attack. Collective Brutality adds another color to my deck, but it is a Reanimator thing and interaction. All right. I'm going to try to do this Nadu thing a little bit. Grave Titan is worth sneaking. What does Elvish Reclaimer even do? Nothing yet. Anger works with this Faithless Looting. And it's kind of cool with mana dorks. I think I'm going to take this Fireball. Leyline Binding. Jetmir's Garden. Okay, my mana's kind of a mess, and Jetmir's Garden is 2 pieces of it. I'm going in. Treasure Cruise versus Sandstorm Salvager. Zurin Orb, if I find a fast bond, this can be a thing that I do. I think I want this Salvager. It's just more creatures. There's Raminep Excavator. I blew it. Grist. Probably in the sideboard. Prof's Memory. Maybe in the deck. Alright, I got a lot going on here. I'm going to move Guide of Souls to the sideboard. And sort by color. I think that's the most useful thing I can do right now. Again, no Power 9 in the pack. Why would there ever be? Reanimate is a card that I do not pass very often. I have been talking about Faithless Looting, Dovetailing, Sneak Attack into Reanimator. Black is not a color I'm currently in, but it's early. There's Grizzlebrand, which is really good to sneak in. Delighted Halfling, good with Nadu, but I wield the Noble Hierarch. I expect the Halfling back. Trips Titan, good to sneak attack and to reanimate. Mystic Confluence is just a good card. Oh, this is actually a really good pack. I think I'm going to take the reanimate because Trips Titan, Grizzlebrand, I'd be happy getting either one back, and Delighted Halfling. Alright, now we got to support black. Liliana, Godless Shrine, Stomping Ground. Okay, at least this pack isn't very good. Not a lot to think about here. Soul Cauldron is passive graveyard hate that could trigger Nadu. Nettle Cyst is an equipment that works with Nadu. Stomping Ground is just an uncolored dual land. Seasoned Pyromancer makes a bunch of jerks for Nadu while making my hand smooth. Alright, I think it's Seasoned Pyromancer. Scalding Tarn Show and Tell. Coma World Eater. Yeah, that's a good one to reanimate or sneak in. Shadow Spear can equip things. Underground Mortuary gets me. Reanimate on the splash. I think it just has to be Scalding Tarn if this deck has any chance of working, though. Life Death is another reanimate. Torsten is a reanimate target. That's also pretty dope to sneak in. Elegant Parlor. White's the one color I'm not actually trying to play right now. Mind Twist is good, but it's on the splash. I could just be Jund Reanimator and cut these blue cards. It sucks to pass another Boom Boom, but I'm going to cut another Reanimate out of the pod and hope nobody wants to fight me over that. Wasteland Raminep's a combo. Ulamog's a combo with Sneak Attack. Lava Spur Boots goes off with Nadu. I haven't given up entirely yet. Overlord is a castable magic card for impending or 4 mana. That's also not bad to sneak in. So here's like Discipline versus Insanity. Ulamog is the most exciting thing to sneak in. Overlord bridges the gap between the two, and Lava Spur Boots is the best card with Nadu, a card that I'm currently not necessarily going to play. Blooming Marsh also is another black source, or my first black dual land. I'm going to take Overlord here. Another Overlord, and this one fixes my mana. Battle Ball's cool. Generous Ent is cool. Alright, I'm going to take another Overlord. Goldspan Dragon, Sevai Triome. That gives me black-red, and Scalding Tarn can get it. Bone Shards, good with Reanimator. Yeah, this deck is just getting blacker by the moment. Alright. Finding the open lane is what we're talking about here. World Spine Worm, let's go. Bayou on the wheel. Delighted Halfling also on the wheel, but now my deck is different enough that I want Bayou. I'm probably not going to play this Nadu, and Bayou is perfect. Did not get Grizzlebrand or Trips Titan back, so people are in the lane of big Dumbos. Shifting Woodland can also be a reanimate spell. Terra Sunder is just solid removal. Agatha Soul Cauldron, still here. We don't play in pod, so I don't have to worry about that Soul Cauldron. I don't have to cut it. I think I want Terra Sunder. Just removal is important. Mortuary, let's go. Happy with that. Okay, Jund is coming together. I'm gonna reserve my discard spell and then read this. Beginning of combat, middle of turn. When it attacks, until the turn, gains indestructible, gets +1. Alright, that's a bunch of words that I don't need to read. Another dual land. Okay. Jund, Sneak Attack, Reanimator coming together. Nadu, you're going to the sideboard, buddy. Now I can sort by mana value and see what I'm actually working with here. Llanowar Elves over this white card I'm not going to play, and Once Upon a Time to the sideboard. And here we go, pack number 3. Not a piece of power 9 to be seen, but there is the Entomb to go with all my reanimates. Fourth Aerolingus, a card that I really like and can cast off Jetmir's Garden. I'm just going to take the Entomb though and stay in my lane. Inti's good for my deck. Mana Vault's good in most decks. Blazemire Verge, good chance of wheeling that the way the lands have been prioritized in this pod. Entomb Reanimate gets not much. It basically has to be an Overlord, unless I find a different Big O. Valgavoss Onslaught can dump out Big O's. Ooh, Oath of Druids. I am quite a good Oath deck. Unholy Heat, Onslaught, Birds of Paradise, Concealing Curtains, Barrowgoyf, all cards I'd be happy to get on the wheel, but I'm taking Oath. Taiga's great for my deck. Tinker, I have no artifacts, except for the one I'd like to tinker to play, so we're not doing that. Palace Jailer is a good card, but I'm nowhere near it. Bloodtithe Harvester is an on-color dope that also can enable graveyard stuff. It's also an artifact for Tinker, the Blood token. That's mostly a joke. I'm taking Taiga. Am I a bizarre deck? Probably not. Lightning Bolt, Metamorphosis Fanatic are the two I'm thinking about here. Sylvan Caryatid is cool, but now that I have Oath, Mana Dorks have risks associated that I'm not necessarily interested in. I think I'm going to take the Bolt. Metamorphosis Fanatic is good, but Bolt is a cheap interaction spell to keep me alive longer. Lotus Petal, Preacher, Craterhoof Behemoth. Oathing into a Craterhoof with no other creatures is certainly not how I want to spend my time. And I don't get many more looks at Natural Order this draft, and I already have a good payoff for Natural Order, so Hoof is a strong negative maybe. I think it's Galvanic Discharge or Coalition Relic. I do have stuff to do at 4, 5, and 6 mana where Relic is useful. I think I'm going to take the Discharge for the same reason I took Bolt, though. Sylvan Library. Exhume. Exhume's a little risky. Opponents can have good cards in the cube. It's not really fair, but sometimes it happens. Plateau. What do I have? That Guide of Souls in my sideboard. Yeah, I'm not playing Plateau. And Grist is probably actually in the deck. I put it in the sideboard earlier when I was not playing black. I think it's a Sylvan Library for me. Questing Beast. Wishclaw Talisman. Yeah, Questing Beast plays. A little disappointing to Oath into it. Wow, okay. Eureka is a card that I could be interested in. This is just a big O I can cast. Survival. Not really doing survival stuff. Not well. Alright, Eureka, you're in. Nissa came back around. Ketria Triome is 2 of my 3 colors. The Blazemire Verge is 2 of my 3 colors. This one's fetchable. This one turns on red. This one also turns on red. Yeah, I think I want the fetchable one. Okay, Unholy Heat, Birds of Paradise, Valgavoss Onslaught. I think I'm going to take the Unholy Heat. A Wrenn and 6 actually might be good here. I have 1 fetch land and 2 cycle lands. And Wrenn is importantly not a creature. Okay, I'm actually going to take Wrenn. Off-color Overlord versus Crop Rotation. What am I going to do with this thing? I like it, but what am I going to do with it? Alright, I'm going to put Crop Rotation in my sideboard. I'm going to put Sylvan Caryatid in my sideboard. I'm going to put Craterhoof Behemoth in my sideboard. And Breeding Pool in my sideboard. And Yavimaya in my deck. Okay. That was an exercise in finding the open lane. Many of my early picks in the draft, not in my deck right now, but that's okay. Ended up with 26 playables. Grist should probably be in. Grist is awkward because it's such a good card, but also a bad hit off Oath. Oath is just 1 card in my deck, though. The Sandstorm Salvager didn't end up happening. That was part of the Nadu package. I am not afraid of playing with Mana Dorks in an Oath deck. It's not ideal. I have a lot of 1-drops. Maybe I will just play 0 Mana Dorks, and if my opponent has, like, a Reanimator or Show and Tell deck, I'll board out the Oath and board in my Dorks. I have a bunch of them, if I want them. Do I want to Crop Rotate for Library of Alexandria? How often is that going to happen? Delayed Blast Fireball, kind of contrary to what an Oath deck wants to do. I want my opponent to have cards, creatures in play. I did not end up with a black fetch land. I think Scalding Tarn was the only fetch land I saw in the draft, other than Fabled Passage. I don't need Spirebluff Canal anymore. There's no blue cards. Alright, so I have basically 3 Taigas in the deck. 2 of them come in tapped. Scalding Tarn gets all of them. Scalding Tarn cannot access black, so I want to kind of index for black in my basic spread. Okay, I've got a colorless land, red, green, green, black, black. Organize my thoughts here. This is 9 green sources, 6 red, 7 black. I don't think I need the Remnant Excavator in the deck with red and 6 in, and if I'm trying to Oath. Yeah, maybe I will bring this Fireball back in. I could see Once Upon a Time being kind of useful. Noble Hierarch is just Llanowar Elves with Exalted. I don't use blue or white mana in my deck. Sylvan Caryatid would be the dork if I play one. Stinks that Reanimate was pulling against Nadu, because this was pretty close to a Nadu deck that I would be excited to play. And I had to pass that Lava Spur Boots and Shadow Spear over Reanimate cards. I mean, I'd rather be this, but it's a bummer. Okay, I think I am happy with where I am. Let's go play some matches. The BoshNRoll channel is brought to you by Tales of Adventure. TOAMagic.com has almost 100,000 unique cards in stock. They offer free track shipping on every order, plus next day or 2-day options when you have an event coming up fast. They offer on-site pickup at major Magic events throughout the US, so you're never scrambling before your tournament. Stop by their booth to buy, sell, or trade at upcoming regional championships, Magic Con, Spotlight Series, and more. I love their selection of individually scanned high-end cards that show you exactly what you're buying. And the best part is saving 5% on every order with promo code BOSH. From Ancestral Recall to Zombie Master, get what you need quickly and in one place at TOAMagic.com. Eternal lives here. A spicy, dicey hand on the play in round 1. I think I am going to keep this on the strength of Oath of Druids. If I miss my land drop, that stinks. If I get wastelanded, that's obviously abysmal. But I can bolt something to take pressure off if I don't find my land right away, and I really just need to draw a land and we're doing stuff. Most decks have creatures in them. Alright, deck. Shit. Okay, my opponent knows I'm up to some mess now. Tapped Island. This hand is obviously a risk, and I would not fault anyone for mulling it. At the Cube Draft World Pro Tour, I would probably have mulled it too. My opponent tapped and untapped mana a bunch of times, trying to figure out what I'm about over here. I'm about drawing my land right on time. And the fun thing about Magic Online is if your opponent misses a land drop and then has one on the next turn, it's like, did they click through their turn by accident? Or did they actually just rip that? Okay, we're playing against a combo deck where this Oath of Druids is going to be abysmal, probably. Seething Song. If they just fire out a sneak attack, I'll be pretty bummed. Hoisted by my own petard. Life Death, okay. I don't think I could play Oath of Druids here. I think I'm just going to go to Cleanup and discard Questing Beast. That does have haste. If I can set up a... Like, if they do some convoluted line here that doesn't actually kill me, like Bolt, Reanimate, Attack is 7 damage out of nowhere. I'm just coping here. Obviously, this doesn't work. Also, I need a black source to cast Life with, or Death with. I could cast Life and attack for 1. That's surprise damage out of nowhere. Got him. Collective Brutality. Well, I'll bolt you in response because this is the only card that I have that you could possibly care about. Or they could take Eureka or Life Death here. And this is kind of a problem with Oath. Like, if my opponent just had, like, Mother of Runes and some creature in play, the Oath would have soloed this game, but they appear to be some sort of creatureless combo deck. Ooh, good job playing around my top deck. Black source. I'll make a bug. Build a forest. Now Oath is just off because I'm making bugs, but I can sack the bugs. Here we go. In what ways am I dead? Through the Breach, Emrakul? Okay. Eureka and Oath are dangerous versus this deck. They'll probably all be boarded out, which is a real shame because this is what I built my deck to do. However, I'm at 5, not 0. They have 2 cards left in their hand. Just draw some lands and dig out. Bad start. Mana Crypt, we've got a win condition. I'm so jealous they have a Tinker. Okay, their deck is way better at doing what mine was supposed to do than mine is. Coveted Jewel, gross. Attack Faden. Alright, I have seen enough here. I'm gonna board out the Eureka and the Oath, because they are better at this than I am. Bring in my mana dorks. I could play Breeding Pool and Spirebuff Canal and do Nadu stuff, but what does that even mean? A Delayed Blast Fireball doesn't seem to do anything here. Okay, I have to play more fair here than I want to, but this is what we got. Okay, look at this hand. I'll keep it. This one does stuff. I am going to Inquisition them first. Knowing they're a combo deck, I want to know their plan. I don't have a 2-drop to cast anyway. If they duress me and take my Inquisition, then I've lost my window. I wonder what it's like to have a Mana Crypt in your deck. I've never experienced that in my entire life. Opponent kept 7 cards. My monitors just did a weird flicker thing. I hope that it was harmless and the recording remains unaffected. A Basalt Monolith, Collective Brutality, Mana Crypt, Thopter Foundry. Look at this opponent with all their good cards. I'm going to take the Mana Crypt and make them play relatively fair, I guess. But I was right to duress them first because they would have had turn 1 Collective Brutality if I didn't. World Spineworm, you love to see it. Sylvan Caryatid. I don't think I want you this game. I'm just going to try to scream at them with my Nemesis. The Collective Brutality is allowed to take Terrace Under, but it doesn't do anything else. There's a land we didn't see. Okay, leading on the Thopter Foundry. I could tear that asunder. Well, we know Tinker's in the deck. I am just going to deal with this thing. And now if they Collective Brutality me, they miss. They'll probably just play up Assault Monolith, though, the way this game is gone. Yep, there's that. Entomb. I don't think that's helpful right now. I could play Noble Hierarch and then Entomb my Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Playing out Hierarch gives them a double hit on Collective Brutality, though. Alright, I'm just going to scream. Inflicting damage is not my plan. Yeah, they have a discard enabler and a way to clear. Uh-oh. Brutality, they didn't escalate, which means they probably kept the Through the Breach on top. Torsten is a pretty big fucko here. If they attack me with Torsten and I block with Nemesis, that is 7 damage back at them. Or I could just like scream through their 1/1s for a while. I don't know. This feels bad. I'm going to be honest. Alright, I think it's worth more damage to be attacking them. I can also Galvanic Discharge my own Nemesis at some point and send some damage somewhere. Through the Breach is what they have. Did they find Emrakul in the meantime? Cool. Alright, well, I guess I don't concede here. I do discharge my Nemesis, though. Okay, deal 3 damage over here. Opponent can't gain life anymore, if they care about that. And now I have to draw lands and win somehow. Okay, I mean, 2 lands and we're doing something with that life death. We're both in top deck mode. And they top decked Dak Faden. Perfect. So they're no longer in top deck mode. They're seeing 3 cards a turn to my 1. They kept Torsten. Oh no. Yeah, my deck is all in on Oath and Eureka working. And my opponent is more built for an Oath Eureka game than I am. And now I'm just like mid-range Jund Sewer versus their actual deck with cards in it. Yeah, we're live. Untap their Monolith. They don't have either color to cast Torsten, currently represented. Dak can ultimate starting next turn if they want to target me and steal my stuff. Sword of the Meek in the graveyard. They exiled the Thopter Foundry. It's gone. Grist. Still looting over there. Ultimating doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, I don't know if they're even able to target a land. They've now discarded 2 monsters after holding Torsten in their hand for 4 Dak activations. So I gotta imagine there is a reanimate in my near future. Seething Song. Trips Titan. Cool. And that'll do. Okay. Opponent's deck was way better at my deck than my deck was. On to the next round. Let's hope for some creature decks.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks. And groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on a play in round 2 with a hand I can't keep for color reasons. Mulligan this. Okay, I can keep this. I think I'm going to bottom the Eureka and just try to play junk cards. See what that looks like. No lead on the swamp. Island, Manifold Key. Time Vault, not currently in the cube. Which is lucky because I could not ever do anything about that. Plains and a Talisman. Alright. Time to scream at my nemesis and hope that we get over the line with that. Deal 20. I need you. Tolarian Academy. Alright, opponents with real decks here. Mightstone. This kills my screaming nemesis. Okay, they just want cards. They're not even worried about it. That's even scarier. Mindstone. They're ending turn 3 with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mana. That's pretty good. And 5 cards still in their hand. Life Death. If I draw something I can reanimate, we're alive there. I'm going to foretell Fireball and then attack with my nemesis. I don't know how many foretell cards are in the cube. It's not very many. They could probably deduce what I'm actually working with here. Okay, crack the Mind Stone. If they have all this mana and know where to go with it, that's my best chance here. If they have like Treachery or Fractured Identity, I can bolt my nemesis and then reanimate it and keep the pressure up. Casting Eagles of the North. The mighty 3/3. I can lightning bolt that. Okay, bolt you, or bolt that. Oh, I can reanimate that. This gives my creatures +1/+0 and first strike. Let's go. A little extra damage on there. Trigger. In for 4. Opponent just revealed themselves in chat. This is one of my local players. Hi, Zach. Okay, wow. 11 mana on turn 3 and then just couldn't convert it into any cards that win. That's pretty lucky for me. What can I even do about this? I guess I just have to go really hard and hope it works. I just feel like Oath is not going to work against this opponent either. And most decks do win with creatures eventually. Okay. I think Oath comes out. Galvanic Discharge comes out. I want to be able to go face with my burn. And Caryatid Hierarch come in if the Oath is out. I don't know that Fireball is going to do anything. Salvager is power and toughness I can put on the board. So is Nadu. Like if I bring in Breeding Pool, Spire Bluff Canal over Mountain Forest, I also have Hierarch and Caryatid and Overlord. Yeah, I'm doing the Nadu juke. I don't even know if this is a juke, but it is adding these cards to the mix. If my opponent has removal, that helps. All right. Weird situation, but I'm in. 0 ways to target my own creatures. I could minus run and 6 on my own creatures. Got him. Okay, this is a quick Nadu. I'm going to keep. Reanimate's a good card. Ancient Tomb. Chalice for 1, but not the Chalice we'd be worried about. Eureka. Breeding Pool tapped and pass. Okay, 3 colorless mana at the end of turn 1. Where's it going? What are your payoffs? He just said in chat that he's excited to play against me, but disappointed it's his worst Vintage Cube deck ever. I mean, maybe he just took all mana and doesn't actually have means to play or win the game. The B-Skull. I mean, turn 2 B-Skull is respectable. Sylvan Caryatid. Okay, he said he has all the setup, but like 2 payoffs. And, I mean, Batterskull's in play. That's a payoff. Kinda, maybe. I don't know. I would not be embarrassed about it. My deck's not great either. Okay, Flooded Strand, replace City of Traders. No use for the mana. Taiga, Nadu. Caca. If I get this mana leaked, I'll just reanimate it. Okay, cool. We're in. Doing Nadu stuff, maybe. Mindstone. Even if I had a Batterskull to just very slowly equip to Nadu, that it would at least be an engine that I could hang my hat on. Can I draw one of my Big O's? Okay. Mortuary, flip a Big O that I can reanimate. That's the wrong Big O. But I will put it on top because it is a win condition starting next turn. And I think I'm going to attack with Nadu. Then I'll cycle Jetmir's Garden. I don't think I'm going to chump this turn. It's probably too early to do that. If Blightsteel sticks, it's just going to win. If it doesn't, I'm just going to lose. Yeah, plummet to 8 life here, which does make reanimate a lot worse. But I think having mana to pay for soft permission on my Eureka is going to be really important. All right, opponent's just drawing cards. The white mana revealed. cycle. Blightsteel's here. Ooh, Questy Beast. That can tangle with Phyrexian Germ Token, but so can Eureka. All right, I'm going to cast Eureka. And how many horrific game-ending permanents are in your hand right now that I'm going to lose to? I probably should have left up my black source. Oh, I can put Swamp in, it doesn't matter. All right, he put in some lands. Got Questing Beast and Blightsteel Colossus. Thassa's Oracle, let's go. All right, I'm done putting in permanents. Displacer Kitten. Well, that's terrifying. If my opponent Thassa's Oracles into an outlet, Kitten becomes nutty bonkers. Let's just see a decline on the Thassa's Oracle. Okay, I do not want to trade Questing Beast for Batterskull when my opponent can simply block and then flicker the Batterskull with any spell. Oust! Oh, Nadu triggered. Let's go. Nadu, Nadu, Nadu. All right, opponent said better lucky though. And yeah, I guess declined. And then flickering Thassa's Oracle will look at another 3 cards. A Swamp came into play off Nadu. I'll take that. Nadu happened. We saw it. It occurred. Live in front of you. And I'm only 4 mana away from recasting that Blightsteel when I draw it in 2 turns. I think I do have to block here if I'm ever going to reanimate anything. And the Batterskull can just be re-equipped or flickered. It is large and in charge right now. I need my Terra Sunder, or one of my Overlords would be cool. Okay. Did not re-equip. Faithless Looting. Okay. That clears that dope that I don't want. Right, loot. Blightsteel, Noble Hierarch are gone. It's a shame Exalted doesn't target. I mean, that's just not how cards work, but it's a shame, all the same. All right, Blightsteel and Noble Hierarch are gone. I'm going to reanimate Questing Beast and start doing damage. Okay, attacks with these. Opponent cannot block. Picking up Batterskull. That's fine. Casting Batterskull will trigger Displacer Kitten and get another 3 looks with Thassa's Oracle. This is quite a card selection engine. The Mightstone, well, that's really good to flicker as well. If this is going minus mode instead of draw mode, I will get another Nadu trigger. Okay, still going draw mode. Yeah, with Displacer Kitten, if you just have cards to play, and you can just cast Batterskull if you don't find something better. Shorikai, yikes. All right, time to shred through the deck. You found the engine. Okay, we're killing Nadu now. Overlord of the Boiler Bitches. Boiler Bitches. The Boiler Bitches. That's what that says, right? Okay, looting with Shorikai. I can kill Displacer Kitten at the very least here. Overlord of the Boiler Bitches. This guy looks crazy. It's like a scarecrow made of furnace. Dump the Batterskull. No longer interested. Coalition Relic. All right, yep, fully going off at this point. I didn't kill Questing Beast. I like that. Too worried about getting Boiler bilged. Talisman of Curiosity. We're still cooking. If this goes deep enough, if there are enough 1 or 2 mana artifacts in the deck, Thassa's Oracle might actually kill me this turn. Like if you draw 2 cards on each of these Mightstones and then on the last flicker do the Oracle for 3, or for 4 now. It is a win con. And we're still cooking. Still drawing 2 cards. The One Ring, okay. And that card is fine because I have Questing Beast. And it doesn't protect Displacer Kitten, which is my target. So if my opponent has any instant in their hand, the Kitten is safe. And like any spell at any point could also just kill Questing Beast if they decide it's time to do that. Sensei's Top, terrifying. Like at minimum now, flip top, draw top with One Ring, cast top is a line available if the other 7 cards in the hand don't do anything. And that is what's happening. Manifold Key. So now we have multiple One Ring activations. Okay, now seeing this Displacer Kitten being a core part of the deck's engine, I will bring my Galvanic Blast back in, or Galvanic Discharge. The last time I drafted an Oath deck, I put Oath in the sideboard for creature matchups rather than building Oath to the main, and then I just queued into 3 creature matchups. And this time I did the opposite. I built 4 creature matchups as the default, and now I am just getting smoked by combo decks multiple rounds in a row. The opponent has 2 cards left in the deck. The next spell, Flickering Thassa's Oracle, wins. Literally just cast a spell and we're done. Sensei's Top, we knew about that one. Targeting Thassa's Oracle. Sick. Okay. We got to see it pop off. Displacer Kitten. Hell of a card. Okay, Galvanic Discharge comes back. That gives me Bolt and Discharge that could interact with that. Eureka's a little dangerous, but I think it's still necessary overall. Nadu was fine there. Can I cut out land now that no Hierarch's in the deck? Or is Grist low impact now? Grist could answer Displacer Kitten in a situation where that matters. Does Wrenn and 6 matter at all in this matchup? Probably not. I don't have a Seiju or a Strip Mine. Okay. On the play, can the deck do what it's supposed to even once? Faithless Looting. Relying on Faithless Looting to fix a shitty hand is not really what I want to do, but I am going to keep this. I have the Worm. This is Race to Sneak Attack. Loot. Bone Shards Hierarch. Okay, I don't need Swamp. And if I dump Jetmir's Garden, I have red, I have green. Okay. Swamp, Jetmir's Garden are gone. Manifold Key. Yavimaya. Okay, I am going to take damage to get Noble Hierarch into play. I guess Yavimaya would have done that without the damage, but I don't think my life total is what this matchup's about. Talisman. Questing Beast. Let's go. Okay. I'm just going to apply damage. Let's get it. 5's coming your way. You got 3 more turns. Can this get over the finish line? Every time I draft a deck like my opponent's, this ends up happening to me, where my opponent just plays like some 5-power creature on turn 3, and then I die as I spin my wheels doing awesome shit. Okay, pass the turn. Mortuary. I do not need a Taiga. Questing Beast. Get another chunk in there. I think I want to loot here. Hope I don't get hull breached. Oh, sick. Okay, I'm going to discard Blooming Marsh, and I only have 1 red mana. Okay, Blooming Marsh and Galvanic Discharge are my discards, and hope I'm not dead. I'm holding on to this World Spine Worm just in case Sneak Attack shows up. I would like to go over the top if my opponent sticks a Batterskull or some important thing. Boo, boo. Okay, now the decision to try to combo off or to just kill my Questing Beast is upon you. Okay, took the kill. I respect that. Come on, Sneak Attack. Reanimate. You thought you could kill my creature, but you cannot. Okay, put you to 5, which you don't know is 2. Like, if Ancient Tomb shows up, I can just win. But I also have Yavimaya enabling Ancient Tomb to tap for 1, which may or may not be useful. Another Talisman. Witch Enchanter. Can't block. Creatures with power 2 or less can't block Questing Beast. I don't need to worry about that thing. And do we have a spell, or are we dead? Drawing Sylvan Library after the Witch Enchanter comes into play, just the nuts. And we got the GGs. That is a coast-to-coast with Questing Beast. Played it on turn 3, it attacked on turns 3, 4, 5, and 6, and that was the 20 damage. Cool. Just blast them in the face while they're doing very cool cube stuff. On to the final round. Let's play against some creatures, I hope.
The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables.
Good. All right, here we go, gang.
In this YouTube series, hosts Cedric Phillips and Patrick Sullivan take us on a set-by-set journey through the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a focused deep dive into the facts about a set's design and release, the Magic lore expressed through the cards in that set, Tournament Edition gameplay videos featuring products and Pro Tour decks of the era, an award show that shouts out the best and weirdest cards of the set, and a final grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/theresleevables.
I'm on the draw in the final round. I'm going to keep my hand. It has Interaction, my powerful Planeswalker. Opponent's got a Steam Vents. Alright, Bayou means I can play Wrenn next turn if nothing happens. It's not doing anything yet, but plussing or pinging an X1 would be pretty cool. Tap out for 3rd Path Iconoclast. That would be great. Oh, not that one. Okay. I'm going to kill this thing anyway, so I'm going to do it before it can deal a damage to me when I draw a card. And then Underground Mortuary. I'd love to dump a land. Sick. Getting paid for Wrenn and 6 on that one. Okay, we've got Grixis magic cards over there. Chrome Host Sea Shark. Bolt couldn't kill that anyway. Scoreboard. Galvanic Discharge also cannot kill that. Okay, red-green. Get back my Scalding Tarn. Play the Scalding Tarn, and Wrenn plus Discharge can kill Seed Shark next turn. So can Tear Asunder. Shocked in Watery Grave, that's scary. 2 damage to Wrenn. Lightning Bolt. Alright, goodbye, Wrenn. A very expensive way to draw a card. Fetch. Do I care about Ketria Triome? Or would I rather it be in the deck? Yeah, I'm just going to get Taiga. Cycling the Triome is value I don't want to give up on. Ooh. I can Tear Asunder the Seed Shark, or I can just cast Eureka. If they have a counterspell, they'll probably use it to protect Seed Shark. I'm going to try to dance around this a little bit. And I'm going to go in their upkeep, because I'm actively trying to... Oh, okay. Gross. I am actively trying to fish out a counterspell right now. Brain Surge, pretty good. I could also just Tear Asunder now when I know it works. But I want them to counter. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to Tear Asunder in the upkeep, even though, like, this is bait. And the timing should tell them it's bait. And they also don't need anything else going on here, because they have 4 power already from this thing. Okay, tear that. That worked. Night's Whisper. Okay. I would like a second monster for Eureka here. Wishclaw Talisman. Oh, baby. Oh no, they're making a wish. Am I dead now, or am I going to get to actually wish for something and put it in off Eureka? Okay. Well, what's in my deck? I could get the Blightsteel. I could... I'm a mana short of wishing for Sneak Attack. Wishing for Reanimate doesn't really do anything. Yeah, I think I'm just going to get the Blightsteel. Giving them 2 wishes is not great, but I'm just going to hope that my shit's more powerful. Okay, Forest, Wish, give it right back. All right, Blightsteel, Colossus. One of you better win the game. Eureka, World Spineworm, Memory Jar, Swamp, Blightsteel. Okay, they have Memory Jar, Hull Breacher, which is powerful, but does not actually beat my board unless they draw something to do with their millions of mana. Okay, I'm done putting cards into play. I wish I had a red source. I wish there was a sequence here. I did think about it, but I needed 5 mana to wish first, and that did not result in using Galvanic Discharge. Okay, they have access to their whole deck with Wishclaw Talisman, and they get to Memory Jar up to 12 mana. But the thing about Cube is it's not constructed. It is possible that I have just presented more than they can answer, even with all that said. I don't know, like maybe that's... Oh wow, they're jarring now? So we're going to discard it our next end step. All right, I'll Entomb in response, I guess. I guess I would have just been back in my end step. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to Entomb Overlord of the Boiler Bilges. Okay, yeah. All right, so they want their treasures now, but they don't want the cards. That's interesting and concerning. Maybe they're just already holding the win con in their hand and just wanted treasures to execute it. Okay, they discarded Fiery Confluence, Oliphant, Raucous Theater, Mox Pearl, Force Negation, Mox Ruby. Oh, 2 pieces of power. I've never had 1. Dark Ritual. It's just like a Doomsday win. What do we got? What do we got? Show it to me. I mean, Treachery is really good. It doesn't take much, and they have a Demonic Tutor available and near infinite mana. LED. Okay. Discarded Days and Echo of Eons, so they're going to have another 7 treasures and 7 random cards in their hand. Okay. That's interesting because that tells me they didn't have a card that just solves this for them and they needed to draw 7 and try to figure it out. Like if they're a Storm deck, they just didn't have enough Storm. They could combo over the top here, but Demonic Tutor plus 14 mana wasn't enough to solve the board. They have to do more, which is a good sign. Otawara. Okay, that one's good. Memory Jar, we're going again. City of Traders. It seems weird to me using your treasures before you use your lands. Like, the treasures aren't going anywhere. Unless you use them. Fiery Confluence dealt 6 damage to me. Are they in an infinite loop? Can they cast Fiery Confluence 3 more times this turn? What are we doing? Where are we going? Is there another Twister in the deck to get the Ottawara back in the mix? Storm should be plenty at this point. Lightning Bolt. Bobbling me. Yeah, it seems this game is largely hinging upon whether or not I had red up last turn to be able to discharge this Hull Breacher. Like, they still do a lot, but they don't have all this mana. Okay. I get World Spine Worm back in the end step, and then I draw a Mountain. All I can do here is attack. They have 5 on the crackback, and this is not lethal. I guess they'd have 3 on the crackback because they have to block with one of them. Oh, madness happening. Oh, right, they have all these jerks. 3, 4, 5, 6. They're flipping multiples up. I definitely forgot those were over there among the pile of treasures. Okay. They're leaving 7 damage coming back my way, and they just need a lightning bolt to finish me off here. I'll play my Mountain. I have no secrets. They did let themselves go to 9 poison, though, which means that the Blightsteel is lethal next turn through anything less than 11 toughness. Do they have 3 more damage to deal? Wow! Over the top of all that. That's what I'm talking about. Rock solid, gamers. Okay. Sometimes all you gotta do is cross your fingers and hope. They appear to be a Storm deck that wins by casting Lightning Bolt a bunch of times. My answers to Hull Breacher are all in the deck already. I think Oath of Druids is fine because we saw the Seed Shark, the Piggy Bank, the Hull Breacher. Is Once Upon a Time good? Should I have had this in the whole time over, like, I don't know, a forest? A swamp, maybe? Yeah, maybe I was underestimating this card. I'm going to try that. I'm going to cut a basic swamp for Once Upon a Time, and maybe I should have done that the whole time. Submit my deck. Oh, Library on the draw. And the first appearance of Sneak Attack, my first pick overall of the draft that I built my whole deck around. Nice of you to show up, eventually. If I draw one of my Overlords or Questing Beast or something, I can library up to 8 cards, and then discard a hand size and immediately reanimate it. Seasoned Pyromancer might be good enough to cash that in. We'll see in a moment. 8 cards, 7 cards. I am going to draw now. I do like the idea of going to discard. And do I want to dump the Pyromancer or... Yeah, I'm going to dump the Pyromancer. The Nemesis probably does more damage, but having access to this is cool. Shocked and Watery Grave. I'm going to library in my upkeep. Draws Faithless Looting. Not a bad one. Okay. I'm going to reanimate my Pyromancer and try to get something going here. They did shock this in. I assume they have a spell. Okay. Bone Shard's not big for the matchup, and Blightsteel is great with Sneak Attack. Oh, Faithless Looting is just good in the graveyard. All right, here we go. I'm looking for red mana, and I did find some. Cool. This immediately turns off Oath because I have more creatures than they're going to have for the entire game. But that's okay. City of Traders. Please cast Show and Tell. Please cast Show and Tell. Coward. I'm not going to draw in my upkeep because their deck contains the card Hull Breacher. I do want red mana, but Terra Sunder might actually matter a lot in the matchup. That's tricky. Alright, I'll play Jetmir's Garden and attack for 4. This next turn, Terra Sunder can kill Hull Breacher, which I care about. Alright, I'm just going to pass. If they Hull Breach in the end step, I will library in the end step. Cool. Played around it. And I'm going to Entomb here, and I just drew some gas for Eureka. Entomb can dump Overlord of the Hauntwoods, or do I want to draw that? I hate to just Entomb a land. That seems so whack, but I also just don't want to draw some lands here. Okay, I am actually going to just Entomb a swamp. There's a good chance I won't have this hand next turn anyway. Wow, they have the Twister. Okay, just fully roasted. Goodbye, all of my plans. Okay, we didn't see Time Twister last game. We saw Echo of Eons and Memory Jar. This one feels a lot worse. Okay, Memory Jar is 7 mana and 7 fresh cards for them. Yeah, I'm not doing anything. It seems like if I am able to remove Hull Breacher, their deck doesn't function, though. For Game 3, I will think about sequencing and mulliganing with that in mind. I snuff out my Seasoned Pyromancer. The Piggy. Oath of Druids is a great draw here, actually, because if I attack, they'll definitely block at least one of these. Okay, now Oath is just live. Solo the game. Still cracking treasures, though. Did they draw the Echo straight up? Yeah, they did. Okay, and that's going to end up in the graveyard. They can send that again. Their deck's coming for me. Around and around it goes. I've played against exclusively serious freaking Vintage Cube decks. Oh, nice combo. Hull Breacher plus this card that doesn't let me. All right. That's fine. But yeah, three serious Vintage Cube decks, not a single, like, Mother of Runes into Thalia kind of curve out creature deck. Nobody playing in the mid-range Jund or anything except me. Okay. Take 6 from that. 3 from this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oath still feels pretty bad here. Might be too late. The old post-combat send it around again. Wishclaw. That should be able to figure out how to win, I hope. Yeah, they just get like, Lightning Bolt with that. Okay, we're good. All right, game 3. Holy smokes. There is nothing in my deck that would help here. A Crop Rotation could color fix me, maybe. Blade Blast Fireball, Lightning Bolt, Discharge, Inquisition, Terra Sunder. These are my answers to Hull Breacher. Okay, here we go. This does not do anything. I'm going to mulligan. I'm not in love with this either, but it does literally do anything. I'm going to keep and bottom Catria Triome. I already have green and red. Mountain Loot. I'd love a Reanimate. A Worldspine Worm and Overlord to the graveyard. A Worm is my payout if I draw one of my sneaks, though. That card's just bad, though. Do I need this swamp? Overlord costs 3 to impend. Don't really want to impend it. I want to reanimate it. I'm discarding Overlord. I'm just deciding if it's a land or a Worldspine Worm. I think it's a land. Okay. Here we go. I'd love to find my Lightning Bolt so I can answer Hull Breacher. Just leave it up for the rest of the game. And then their deck stops working. Mountain Pass. Blooming Marsh Pass. Glad I discarded a land last turn. Just replaced it immediately. Oliphant. We've seen multiple Volcanic Islands in their deck. There's one of them. The actual one. Mox Ruby. I tanked about that for a while and then decided to deploy it. Well, if you have Hull Breacher, I'm fucking dead. But if I don't cast this, I'm also fucking dead. Okay, we did it. We dodged. Lightning Bolt in my hand. They clearly don't have Hull Breacher, or they would have just Shadow Realmed me. I don't need this forest, and... Alright, I think it's time for Worldspine Worm to go. Alright, if I survive this turn cycle, I have Lightning Bolt up and I'm applying pressure. The Reanimate for Overlord is a play. It would be insane to me if they flash in Hull Breacher, though. It just wouldn't make any sense in the history of the world. Preordain. Okay, digging. Top, bottom of Preordain. Now I'm okay with Hull Breacher. Blight Seal. Alright, glad I got rid of the Worm. That would have been too many of this kind of thing. We've seen Ottawa in their deck. I think we saw Force of Negation discarded off of a card. Memory Lapse. That's annoying, but we'll try again next turn. It's not as bad when it's on a 1-mana card. Swamp, Mox Burl. Just hard casting Echo. Alright, Memory Jar is in the tank. LED. Discarding Echo of Eons. Alright, well, I guess I bolt them in response here, because I'm losing it anyway. Terra Sunder is here. I can force the action on their Memory Jar right now, or I could hold up removal for potential. Yeah, I'm just going to exile Memory Jar, and it becomes a use it or lose it situation when they were clearly not about to use it. And I'm a Reanimate deck, so, like, jarring here isn't free. Okay, they did jar. And this is going to clear, like, a bunch of lands out of my hand. The Galvanic Discharge I will miss. Found LED. If I do this in the end step, I don't have my hand, which is why I did it in the main phase. The Echo of Eons is already used. Okay, cool. That was mostly just a mill 7 on both players when I'm a Reanimate deck. They lost Snuff Out, Piggy Bank, Force of Negation. Deal. Overlord of the Burgers. Okay, I was holding Reanimate, but I didn't actually reanimate anything. I can play Oath of Druids here. I can't impend the Overlord. Oath is usually better as a surprise, though, but I might not have my hand again if I wait. Time Twister is still in their deck somewhere. All right, I guess I'll just bash your face. Yeah, the Echo's in exile, the Memory Jar's in the graveyard, but Twister and Hullbreacher are both still at large. The Needlekin is in the deck as well. Hideaway, okay. We are already there. We're both there. Seed Shark. Delayed Blast Fireball, I also can't cast. Thanks, deck. Questing Beast getting through. I could mill with Grist. I could impend the Overlord. Just try to have some mana for next turn. Okay, they countered that. That's fine. I mean, it means I won't have mana next turn. So maybe it's not fine. Maybe it's terrible. And they've looked at most of their deck at this point. If I can trick them into deploying another creature that doesn't kill me immediately, which is the Hullbreacher or the Razorkin. Brain Surge. They're Surgeon. Surgeon General's warning. I'm about to die. There's 13 cards in their deck. They've looked at the top 2 and the bottom 3 from these 2 cards. There's not many mysteries left. Sheldock Isle is happening. I wouldn't mind a Time Twister here. Uh-oh. I might mind a Razorkin. They don't have blue to twist me right now. But the Twister's in there somewhere. Wishclaw Talisman. Yep, there's that shit. And I'm drawing the 5-drop that I can't play. Reach is the only word that's not on Questing Beast. Okay. Draw for turn. I take 1. I'm going to attack with Questing Beast. They could activate an Incubator and block. It has to be the 3-power one. They are interested. Okay. I can Grist and kill Razorkin if I think I'm about to lose to that, which there's a good chance of because they can Wishclaw for the Time Twister. Not having double red sucks so hard. Like, either of these cards is great right now if they're castable, but they're just not. I could play Oath and hope I survive the turn. They do have more creatures than me at this point. You're guaranteed 10 damage, that's happening. Or 7 damage, put me to 10, is what I'm trying to say. And then I draw a card. This 2's coming through, so they have 6, 13, 14 damage guaranteed, and Lightning Bolt is in their deck somewhere. They get to spin up the Fiery Confluence. Oh, this sucks every ass, but I think I have to kill Razorkin with Grist. Okay, sacrifice Questing Beast, kill Razorkin, Needlehead, and Memory Lapse is just Time Walk. They know I have a Lightning Bolt that they at least have to think about. They've seen it in my deck. Preordain, top bottom that. Island, kill City of Traders. Wishclaw, Talisman. Hullbreacher. Delayed Blast Fireball in response, JK. I was not able to leave up mana because I never drew a second red. Alright, now we're looking super dead. I do have the Talisman though. And Lightning Bolt targeting me on the way through. They can attack for 6 this turn. We haven't seen Tolarian Academy yet, but if it's in the deck, it taps for infinite. Piggy. Razorkin. Did you redraw your Memory Jar? Twister's in the graveyard. Echo's in exile. I don't play a Wrath effect. I don't think I can win this game anymore. I think it's safe to say. My opponent draws a card. Okay, super dead. Oh, baby. Well, this was the least successful Vintage Cube draft I think maybe I've ever posted. And it does not follow my normal rules. I was just trying some stuff. The first pick Sneak Attack guided me down a dark path. Generally, what I want to do when I'm cubing is not die and have inevitability. Cheap interaction, and then if nobody's doing anything, the game favors you eventually. And while these Overlords and the Sneak Attack, I guess at some point, like that's some version of inevitability, I do have good stuff to do on 5 and 6 mana. I was very bad at the don't die part. I also think just the randomness of pairings got me pretty hard here. Like I said, during the games, I played against no people who were just like Llanowar Elf go or Mother of Runes go. I think I smoke any deck trying to do anything like that. Nobody put like a Goblin Rabblemaster into play against me. It was just 3 busted combo decks in a row, which is not where Oath of Druids strives, and Oath was my entire plan. The entire reason I drafted it all. And reason I built my deck in the way that I did. They're not all winners, folks, and this one was a loser. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon. I'll see you next time.